The 2024 WBSC Premier 12 gets underway this Saturday, November 9th. Only the 12 highest-ranked national teams in the world take part. The 12 teams are split into two 16 pools. No players currently on MLB rosters, but lots of ex-MLB players will be there, including some who played in MLB in 2024. Also, some of the best young prospects. This could be your first chance to see some future MLB stars. And the best from NPB, KBO, CPBL, and LMB will be there. Though Japan, Korea, and Taiwan all play in Pool B, which doesn't start till next Tuesday. Today we're looking at Pool A. Pool A consists of Mexico, Netherlands, Panama, Puerto Rico, USA, and Venezuela. The teams will play a round robin from Saturday the 9th to Thursday the 14th. Top two teams from this round will advance to the Super Round, where they'll meet the top two teams from Pool B. Two venues in Mexico will be used. One is the 16,500 capacity Estadio Panamericano in Zapopan, near Guadalajara. This was also the host site for Pool D of the 2017 WBC. The other venue is the Estadio Olímpico Santa Teresita in nearby Tepic, with a capacity of just 4,000. Here's the schedule. It all kicks off on Saturday with Panama versus Netherlands, Puerto Rico versus USA, and Venezuela versus Mexico. Estadio Panamericano gets 2 out of every 3 games. The smaller one gets 1 game. And of course the final game, on the evening of Thursday, November 14th, will be USA versus Mexico. Possibly the title of group champion on the line in that one. If you're not too familiar with the Premier 12, here's what happened in the first 2 editions. In 2015, Korea and Japan met in the semifinals. Korea came from behind to win 4-3. USA beat Mexico in the other semifinal. The medal games were blowouts. Japan 11-1 over Mexico for the bronze. And Korea won the gold with an 8-0 shutout over USA. In 2019, those same 4 countries reached the medal round. It was Mexico 3-2 over USA for the bronze, and Japan 5-3 over Korea for the gold. Let's take a quick look at the 6 teams in Group A, then we can do a quick comparison and try to guess which 2 teams will move on to the Super Round. Team USA, managed by veteran MLB manager Mike Scioscia, 4 MLB Pipeline Top 100 prospects on their 28-man roster. The highest-ranked one is Rays prospect Carson Williams, the 4th best prospect in the Major League system. The 21-year-old shortstop played at AA Montgomery over the summer, 821 OPS, 20 home runs, and 33 stolen bases. Number 22 prospect Matt Shaw, a 22-year-old infielder in the Cubs system, got promoted to AAA Iowa over the summer, 35 games, 7 home runs, and a 929 OPS. Number 53 prospect Justin Crawford, 20-year-old left-handed hitting center fielder in the Phillies system, reached AA reading last summer, 40 games, 834 OPS, 15 out of 16 in stolen base attempts. And number 75 prospect Termarr Johnson, 20-year-old left-handed hitter for the Pirates, plays second and short. Most of the summer was spent at high single-A Greensboro, 110 games, 13 home runs, 20 stolen bases, OPS 757. 9 players with experience at the Major League level, including Rich Hill. He pitched in his 20th MLB season in 2024. Also Dylan Covey, Dan Altavilla, Spencer Patton, Zach Grotz, Casey Lawrence, and Anthony Goes. Goes was a member of USA's 2020 Olympic silver medal team. He pitched briefly for the Guardians this year. Here's the whole roster. Half of the 30 MLB organizations are represented here. Sadly, no NPB players. Some of their biggest contributors at the Olympics 3 years ago were NPB players, including Nick Martinez. He ended up back in MLB right after that. Tyler Austin was on that team. He's still one of the best power hitters in NPB. Could use a guy like that on this team. But for a tournament like this, without any MLB players, a roster with 9 MLB veterans and a lot of up-and-coming prospects could be enough to win the gold. Team Mexico, no shortage of MLB experience here either. Led by 28-year-old lefty Victor Gonzalez, a 2024 New York Yankees reliever with a sub-4 ERA in 27 appearances. Others include pitchers Humberto Castellanos, Fernando Salas, and Manny Bañuelos. Marcelo Martinez was one of the CPBL's top pitchers in 2024, 2.04 ERA in 24 starts. The hitters are mostly big names in the 2 Mexican leagues: Chris Carter, Julian Ornelas, Carlos Sepulveda, and others. Perhaps the most valuable name for Team Mexico, though, is manager Benji Gil. He's had enormous success as a pro baseball manager in Mexico and as the national team manager. At last year's WBC, Gil's Mexican team just missed out on reaching the final. After reaching the semifinals of the first 2 Premier 12s, Mexico is ready to take the next step. This looks like the best Premier 12 roster they've ever put together, and they've got the opening round at home. Team Netherlands. Whether it's the WBC or the Premier12, this team always seems to be headlined by the same players. Former MLB players like Didi Gregorius and Jonathan Scope in the infield. Utility player Dwayne Kemp. Pitcher Sharon Martiz. Some of the best from the Dutch League. Pitchers Lars Hoyer and Tom de Blok. Outfielder Denzel Richardson. Infielder Jeremy Profar, brother of Jurickson. There will be some new faces too though, including Donovan Antonia, 21-year-old Mets prospect who reached high single A over the summer. If you're going to say these guys are getting old and their age is finally going to catch up to them, stop right there. I've been saying that for years and they just keep having success. The question is, will some new, younger players step up and give the added boost they need to reach the medal round? Panama, making their Premier12 debut in 2024. Like the other teams, they've got some ex-MLB players. Pitchers Jaime Barria, Dario Agrizal, Alberto Baldonado, and Enrique Burgos. Ruben Tejada and Johan Camargo bring big league experience to the infield. None of them played in MLB in 2024. Some are far removed from their major league time. But youth may be the strength for Panama. Couple Blue Jays prospects on their pitching staff. 26-year-old Abdiel Mendoza reached AAA Buffalo for the first time this year. 25-year-old Kevin Miranda went all the way from rookie ball to AA New Hampshire, where he had a sub-3 ERA in 22 innings. Outfielder Johnny Santos could be a surprise contributor. He's a big name in the Panamanian League. And who knows who else? More Panamanians have been making it to MLB in recent years. They've got a lot of young talent, and Panama has been making a habit of surprising us. In the Caribbean Series, in the WBC, now's their chance to turn some heads at the Premier12. Puerto Rico. Of course you're going to have a ton of big league experience with this team. Hitters Vimal Machine and Yadiel Rivera. Pitchers Jonathan Bermudez, Nicolas Padilla, Dwayne Underwood, and Derek Rodriguez, and Raymond Burgos have all played at the major league level in recent years. 10 MLB prospects. Mets prospect Carlos Cortez hit 16 home runs in 83 games at AAA Syracuse this year. Royals 24-year-old prospect Javier Vaz at AA Northwest Arkansas, .376 on-base percentage, 16 stolen bases in 115 games. They've also got several college baseball players on the roster, so they're a lot more focused on youth than you might expect. Puerto Rico's been a bit disappointing when not using their major league players, winless at the last Premier 12 and the Olympic qualifier. But a roster full of very young players with the right amount of veteran leadership might be just what they need to turn things around in this one. Venezuela, always a competitive team, and they've got some recognizable names here, especially among pitchers. Ricardo Pinto just pitched for the Phillies this year. Lefty Yoander Mendez pitched for the Yomiuri Giants the last 2 years. Good starting pitcher in 2023, but spent most of this year in the minors. Mario Sanchez was one of the best starting pitchers in the CPBL this year. 26 starts, .249 ERA for the Unilions. Another CPBL arm, Nivaldo Rodriguez. 26 starts, .216 ERA for the Fubon Guardians. Rodriguez and Sanchez were 3rd and 4th respectively in ERA in the CPBL. Anderson Franco, another Fubon Guardian, one of the CPL's best closers. 61 games, ERA .234. A few hitters with MLB experience, led by infielder Hernan Perez. Also there's infielder Alexi Amarista and outfielder Ramon Flores. And throughout the roster you can find some of the best hitters and pitchers from the Venezuelan Winter League, one of the best winter leagues out there. Also quite a few from the LMB. And that's Group A. Every roster's got a number of MLB vets. Some had decent careers, but they're all not signed with any team now. And there's usually a good reason for that. No team really has an advantage when it comes to ex-Major League talent. For the rest of the rosters, USA and Puerto Rico have a lot of young prospects. Mexico and Venezuela have some prospects, but they mostly fill the rosters with non-MLB professional players. Netherlands are counting on a lot of players from their own Honkbal Hoofdklasse. Panama's got a few prospects and a lot of guys that have been out of the MLB system for years now. There's not much of an NPB or KBO presence in this group, so the top leagues represented are the LMB and CPBL. Advantage to Mexico and Venezuela. Mexico, of course, has the best from their own LMB. Venezuela has 2 of the CPBL's best starting pitchers and one of the best closers. Between the two, I'd put Mexico ahead. Venezuela's got those 3 pitchers, plus several pitchers with MLB experience. That's the same with all 6 teams in this group, though. The most experienced guys are the pitchers. Every team's bringing about the same quality of ex-MLB pitcher. At least it appears that way on paper, anyway. So then it comes down to the hitting. Venezuela doesn't look like a strong hitting team. Mexico, on the other hand, will have a lineup full of hitters from their own Mexican league. Without NPB or KBO hitters, they'll be the best hitters from outside the Major League system. Venezuela's got a few from the LMB, but Mexico will have a lineup full of them. So which is better, LMB players or MLB prospects? Hard to say. USA and Puerto Rico will have lots of young prospects. USA will have some really high-rated prospects. They could be ready to break into MLB next year. The best player in the whole tournament could be one of those prospects. But for most of them, this will be their first time playing on such a big stage. The pressure could get to them. They could make some rookie mistakes. Most of them haven't even reached AAA yet. LMB players, on the other hand, are more experienced. They've played in big games before. So I don't know which one is better, really, but because USA has the best prospects and Mexico has the best from another professional league, those are my two picks to advance to the Super Round out of Group A. Also, it looks like USA has the most speed while Mexico has the most power. Puerto Rico comes next, a lot of prospects but not of the same quality as Team USA. Then comes Venezuela, great pitching, not so sure about the hitting. Netherlands I put at number 5, their veteran players have shown they can win in international tournaments, but they lack a good supporting cast. Panama I have in last, it just doesn't look like their players stack up well against the other 5 teams. A lot of their players haven't been playing in any major professional league for several years. But like I said before, Netherlands and Panama are known for exceeding expectations. And this is the Premier 12, only the 12 best teams. Any team can make a run to the Super Round and it wouldn't be too much of a surprise. But from looking at what each team in Group A is bringing, USA and Mexico are my picks. If I have to pick one of those over the other, I'll say Mexico. But that's just what I think. Let us know what you think down in the comments. That's all for this one, and until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya!